Hello, this is Tom Zebberveld from Graphileon. Today I'd like to demonstrate how you can do analysis on graph with Graphileon, and specifically in a case where you have a multi-user scenario, so where you want to run scenarios simultaneously by different users. So it involves a combination of doing things on the client and on the server, because you cannot always update the graph, because you would influence the analysis that are being done by others. Well, consider a network of, for instance, of applications, and you can switch on the nodes of the network. You can switch, okay, you want to make this starting node, and it gets a color, and you can switch this to an end node, and now you want to calculate the shortest path. Okay, so it is this is the shortest path. Let me so this is the path with the length 4, and you can also see it how it is running through the graph. And imagine that you now want to have, okay, I want to make this node, which is now active, it's green, and if I want to switch it off, what's going to happen? So what if this would happen? Okay, and it automatically calculates the shortest path and it displays it. So now the status of active inactive is read from the visualization, from this network view. It's not actually saved to the store. If you can make another one. So it calculates. So here you can run different scenarios. You can do it by multiple users at the same time, because you only read from the graph. Well, how is this done in Graphileon? One of my shortcuts returns my dashboard node. So I have here dashboard scenarios, which is one of the multiple dashboards that I have over here. And to that dashboard node, there are other nodes linked to it. It's just, okay, first I run a Cypher query, which returns my application nodes. I have to define which store I'm running it, because with Graphileon you can run against multiple stores at the same time. And when this query is successful, 2 network views are displayed, so which are basically the same. The 2 network views that you were seeing over there. One is empty at the start, and one has the network. From here I have a number of other queries that are linked to it. For instance, a query to set a node active or not. So here what it does, it gets the node and it returns the node, but in a virtual form and with an additional property if it doesn't exist. Anyway, it sets the property to 0 or 1. So those queries are also available for switch to AND or switch to start. So, and then there is also a trigger to get all the shortest path. And here, in fact, is where the magic happens. This batch trigger you see over here, this has a number of parameters, and it has calculation. It has an action calculate and an icon bold, and these translate into this button when you run it. And this query is, as I said, here is where the magic happens, because it gets some nodes from the visualization, and it checks whether the properties in the visualization are set to active 0 or 1, And then once I have the active and the inactive nodes, the start and the end, then this is basically where it gets all the shortest paths, which is a cipher statement, and I run it with a predicate where I exclude the nodes that are not in the active nodes. And when that is returned, it recalculates the virtual nodes, the virtual relationships, because what we can do is show you here. When I set a property, even if the property doesn't exist in the graph, I can set it in my visualization, and this on path property, when it's 1 or 0, that defines the styling. I can show you that, like for instance here. You see that there is styling, which one is a relation, and that relation is of type next, and it has also a property on path equals 1. And if I would edit it, I can see here, so the relationships equals 1, then it gets the fill color blue and width. So these are all style selectors, and they work in a cascading way. So, and here, of course, also the get shortest path also returns the path to this second network view. So this is how it works. As you can see, it's just a very small application, but it's very powerful, especially because, as you can see, our application is a graph as well. So we have these functions that that can be linked to each other by triggers, and these triggers, they carry data or other they can trigger actions. So far, this was it for now. Thanks a lot, and stay tuned.